Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another mod stream. I am rather late, and also, to be quite honest, just a bit sleepy, a bit tired, even though I woke up a long time ago, so that's just how things have been. We got a big patch in the works, though. I guess one thing that I ought to do is pray, because there's some problems here. Unfortunately, ones that we did not anticipate. As always, with an engine like this. So I guess on Fraud Night we may just end up playing mostly Counter-Strike or something. Unfortunately. This patch may just need more time in the oven, mostly on the basis of a huge amount of hardcode that we're going to have to deal with. But when is that not the case? Jesus Christ. What a mess. Let's try that one again. Preferably this time without replacing every single thing in the game, or in the project. So infuriating how poorly organized this stuff is. And they have these dumbass semicolons for no reason. I forget what status flags are called in here. No, they're not actually defined anywhere in here, so it's something super arcane then. God damn it. It's just regular flags, so... Maybe in C unit. Oh, here we go. I guess it's probably just status. Yeah, that's DC right there. I wonder why it didn't actually show when I was searching DC earlier. Oh, because I was doing 0x0 or 0x DC instead of 0x0 DC. I thought I also just searched for DC, but whatever. Main order target pause, by the way. Is there a main order? No. The fuck is that? Main order target. It's way up there. Yeah, that's what I have. Action focus, by the way. So why was it... We have a different set over here, though. So that's a problem. Oh, okay. That's really confusing. So in the IDA, order target is actually, well, in GBTP, order target from IDA is move target. IDA's, what is it? Main order target is order target. So that's not confusing at all. I don't know what Y halt is. Apparently X and Y halt are values 30. Yeah, 0.32 halt, okay. Okay. Guess it's a good thing I managed to figure that out by double checking, because I just would have assumed that the names were shared. Field C0. I assume that's just not defined in here either. C0 could be a bunch of different things. I assume based on the context here, it's Vulture, Spider-Man kind. Just gonna fill out all of the files here or whatever. And all the different fields, make sure those are good, and then we will worry about everything else. So I have to figure out what next waypoint is. Yeah, I'll process the other junk a bit later. Alright, so this is still in the unit struct. It's actually pretty early on. Yeah, next target. Well, was it next movement? Ah, next waypoint 2. So that would be next target waypoint, apparently. So if it's next waypoint 2, it's this. And otherwise, it's a unit. Okay, I guess there's no point here. Okay, so now we just have to, oh, here we go. Fix that. Okay. Nice. Hi, Veek. Oh, I think I can use char in this. Yeah. Wow. I think I got all the fucking helpers. Yeah, I wrote about it in the Fraud Night channel. I have a pretty bad headache right now, so I think I'll say no to the call until that goes away. I don't remember what I called this. Oh. Yeah. Missed that somehow. Oh, I have no idea how to do that one, actually. That's crazy. I've never seen that one before, actually. A minus low byte. With no... Or it's actually a double minus. Maybe that's some sort of operator. That's really weird. Alright, where's my... Where is this? Update unit. Oh yeah, here we go. Current direction 1. Why is there a 1? I don't know what the actual enum is here. Four zeros. Unmovable. Okay. Looks like HYDRA is out. Which basically means our hopes of having a functioning game state are also out. Wait, what? Oh, this is presumably to fix some stuff there. Why are these commit numbers so fucking confusing? Remove Protoss building morph. Here we go. I don't know what I just did by checking that file out. Probably nothing useful. What a mess. I just wanted to copy all this stuff. Building morph. Yeah, it still doesn't have it. So I don't know what actually happened there. That's really weird. I don't know how to delete that branch. But whatever. Oh my god. How do I actually search in this fucking program? Wait, what? Oh, I guess I have to actually define a tool. Oh, I think it's right here. Maybe. Because the building main order state was still modified. Oh. Well, maybe not, actually. Would have been modified no matter what? I don't know, dude. Well, if you think you can fix it, all the power to you. Much appreciated. I still have no idea what to do about this minus low byte, by the way. Is that like plus plus but in reverse? Except it's before the thing. Wait, what is V13 anyway? Maybe this is just supposed to be... Yeah, I don't think we even need a low byte. It's not required, you're just subtracting one from the Spider-Man count. I don't know. Time to make some helper function wrappers. First, I'm going to double check that I have the right functions here. Reasonable. Are any of these actually? We got ECX, EDX, and that's it. At some point we should figure out a way to make Visual Studio not try to autocomplete inside ASM wrappers. It's so annoying. Or ASM braces, I should say. Only a few more to go here, thankfully. Ah, yeah. I guess that would do it. Pretty crazy number of helper functions, honestly. Oh wait. What do we have here? Alright, hopefully that's all correct. I guess I can try building it. I don't think this is even enabled and initialized, so it shouldn't have any issues. Yeah. It shouldn't create any gameplay changes, but presumably if it builds, it also will actually compile, so that would be pretty good. That would be ideal. Alright, so it builds, which is good enough for me. I won't be testing it. At least not right now. Maybe I will later. I will, however, be right back because I have to use the bathroom. And I'm back. I wonder what else we actually even need hooked in the first place. All I know is that iQuare wanted me to do a hook for that function so that we could implement the Lobotomy Mine. So I guess, I mean, the main thing here is that we're gonna need to figure out why the structures aren't, close that. We should try to figure out what's going on with the morphs, but it might be hardcode related. So, oops. I think iQuare said some stuff was implemented on the A's side. Why am I doing this? That's a good one. I like that. That kind of comment is my kind of comment. Oh, Zerg buildings are still broken, you mean? Well, if the only thing that we changed on was GPTP side and re-adding it to GPTP did not fix the issues, I highly doubt anything related to A's is the culprit, or would even particularly be useful. So, I mean, that's just an assumption. I don't really know. Maybe it'll be proven wrong. But I can't imagine A's suddenly not working properly. Yeah, definitely seems broken to me. I wonder if it's something to do with API? Because you also modified API in that same one and got rid of is Protoss morph thing. Like, I would just, at this point, revert all changes related to that commit. But I don't actually know how to do that without potentially deleting other work that we've done since then. So... Dude, good luck trying to read this, holy moly. Wowie! Alright, thank goodness. Oh, never mind, it's broken. Oh no! I can't believe it. I have to redo the whole fucking forum. Maybe it saved all of my information. Alright. Well, you know what's so funny is, Alexander, I was just attempting to RMA it there a moment ago. I finally got around to doing that. We'll see if they get back to me. All right. yeah, so far so good. I've had a couple of weird issues in the past, and the heat flow or whatever definitely feels horrible. Like his system heats up very quickly, and I don't really know what the solution for that would actually be. I might swap the direction my processor fan is facing, if I can. Honestly, the fan that is attached to the Dark Rock Slim is so annoying to detach and like move around. So I'll be trying that at some point, but it's quite particular about where it goes. I mean, I should have more than enough. Yeah, should have more than enough hardware for that. I also just slapped in another. I doubled my RAM from 16 to 32. So in theory, I should be good there too. But I mean, I run everything just fine on pretty high settings at 144 hertz, and that's usually like recording or streaming doesn't seem to impact that. So as long as I get 144 FPS on whatever game it is, I'll have the appropriate amount of performance to actually benefit from the monitors. The heat is definitely what I'm worried about. The CPU always seems to be fine, surprisingly. I don't think I've seen it go above 60 or 65. I haven't done any stress tests, but I've also I have seen the GPU go all the way up to pretty high stuff though. I don't think I can actually see. Like its current temp is 49. It's idling at 49, which is a little high, I feel like. And then it jumps to 80. Now, 4950 idle might not actually be that bad. I mean, I guess I'm not really idling because I'm streaming, and OBS is going to use some of that. And Firefox has hardware acceleration, and whatever the fuck else is going on. So it's actually probably not really idle. So that is most likely manifesting here. But yeah, I haven't. I have seen it jump up to like 80, 85, and that does seem a little high. But we'll see what happens. I mean, I streamed CS the last fraud night earlier. You know, that was something that was hard resetting my PC. Probably just due to BIOS and XMPP. And so right now, I've just brute forced additional performance out of adding more RAM, right? That's not exactly the way that you're supposed to be able to do it. Like, it's supposed to be possible to not worry about that at all. But, or to just use XMPP, that is. But at least I have more RAM, and eventually that will lead to more other stuff. Yeah, well, it's going to help me when I'm multitasking with a bunch of things up at once, right? But like that's mostly for future proofing the system. I feel I don't actually think that more RAM is as necessary as some people make it out to be. I would like to use XMPP, but I have not been able to. I guess I'll have to update my BIOS at some point. Can you believe that download more RAM ever became a thing? That's pretty funny. But yeah, I mean, you compare the temp that I just showed you from my whatever it was, like my whole system is at about 50 CPU and GPU right now, and then you get to this situation where, like, it's actually at near max capacity for its voltage. I think it goes up to 1.5. But I'm pretty sure this actually goes down when it goes under load, which doesn't make any fucking sense to me. I've seen stuff like that before. I wish I could turn off that, what is advanced view? Oh, here we go. Now we're talking, dude. Now we're looking at numbers I've never seen before. I like how there's different modes. That's gross. Well, we're at a bit of a dead end right now. I don't see is Protoss morph anywhere. Alright, that checks out. So what Ichor said was, morph never reaches order state 6, and it never receives order signal 1. That's what it was said earlier. I didn't pool? What? So why can't we just revert to what the file had before? I definitely pulled. So, maybe you didn't push? I did not pool. I did not pool the shipyards. I wonder if regular Protoss structures are also now fucked. All these Terrans can build. Alright, so it's really only the new structures for some reason. Like if I warp in a blazing effigy, it'll break. Or it did before. Like it finished, but it didn't finish. Basically what happens here, like you'll notice the progress bar doesn't go away. And the cancel button is still there. And the same thing would be true... if we took like these Dragoons. We destroyed the destroy that one, and then we build this one. So, like, notably, we can't build Hierophants. So we'll wait for this to finish. Warps in, but it's not technically finished. So that's a problem as well. I don't know. That's why I told you to revert to the original code before you made the changes to remove some of that other stuff. Because as far as I understand, that's the most reasonable way to do it. The reason to re-add the dead code is so that we don't deal with insane troubleshooting. We start with exactly what we had before. We test that to see if it works correctly. And if it does, then we iterate on that selectively and more carefully than we did before. This is a very basic process that I would expect someone like you, who already knows a lot about programming, would also know how to do. So I don't know exactly how to just revert the files to those original situations, but that would be what I would do in this situation, since an entire race cannot play the game right now. Okay, well, why don't you tell me how to redo it from exactly that point so that I can take a look at it? All I want to do is take the original files locally and paste them in, and then fix compiler errors, and then test. Three. Oh, there we go. That was easy. Let's see if that did anything to the Protoss stuff first. I'm assuming it did not, because this is probably like some other issue. Yeah. well, looks like you did fix it. Good job. It's kind of annoying that that happened at all, but what are you gonna do? Really? Good one, Firefox. Goofy shit over here, man. put some other music on, I guess. How unfortunate. So I guess you can't even mod the what's it called? The older Halo game, the oldest available game for Halo. Is it's not moddable in the way that we would like. You can't actually have AI in multiplayer. I can't believe that. So no co-op, no bot support in PvP matches. That is actually incredible to me. I really cannot believe that that's real, but it is. So if I ever end up wanting to mod an FPS, I might have to go all the way back to fucking Doom. Which I guess wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but what the fuck? That's pretty crazy, man. Well, the old Protoss morph stuff was for morphing a Protoss structure into another Protoss structure identically to the Zerg stuff. Well, I didn't even know there were... Oh, you're talking about building underscore Protoss. I don't think we ever used that, though. I don't think that's even related. You use them for debugging, presumably, but I don't know what that would mean. Like, I don't know what to do with the information that you're providing me. Was it checking a bunch of shit in unit ID or something? So the new unit IDs weren't added somehow? I can't imagine that it's real. I'm pretty sure I've added other Protoss structures. Like the pennant works fine, and that's replacing a fucking gas power-up or something, so... I checked the entire assembly dump for, oh yeah, not the one that I was looking at, but some of the others, so... Guess I'll be, shoving that in there. Alright, so we're going to need to disable the melee change, hit registration stuff. And revert the Zealot back to normal, but otherwise I think we have what we need if the buildings actually work. And I can just do the data side of their definitions, or whatever it's called there, hitboxes. Hey, check that out. So in theory, that means that they work fine. Let's pop in and... oh, that's already in here. What's something we can't do right now? They appear to be permanently cloaked. Not quite sure how that's supposed to be handled. Imperium isn't even implemented yet. Yeah, I have told you, I have not actually changed a lot of stuff about these units. I didn't even have their unit names correctly defined until earlier this morning, or this afternoon? I don't remember. Whenever I think it was this morning. It's before I started streaming, I was working on this. Albeit rather slowly. So that's 1075. And 103. So here we have G. G. So I guess this will have to be like D. FCT. Yeah, so we can make this B. Well, yeah, we talked about wanting to explore them in the new engine when we have more control over a lot of other variables. Like I said, I appreciate you experimenting with it, but the current implementation, like, we're already super behind in terms of, like, I thought this patch was coming out way sooner. Not that there's, like, a real reason to. It doesn't seem like Fraud Night will be happening today anyway, since there's only a few people who would be. It's like you, me, and Dawn, maybe. I think he said maybe. Just based on how late it's going to be. So we're probably just not doing anything today in that regard. And, yeah. That means that we got more time to polish off all the edges and add more robust AI support. It's just a ton of overhead. We have to change every single melee unit. Or it just doesn't matter. Like, the Zergling will never miss. The Zealot only misses some attacks now because they have a really long delay, which is a really stupid workaround. And obviously, it wasn't even intentional on your part, obviously, but... Like, obviously you said you intended to remove it. But once we revert, if we were to revert that change, they'll never miss. So, again, like, it's not actually a change that is impactful right now. We would have to do much more lower level changes to melee. And I don't have anything planned for that. It was not something I was very interested in exploring in Brood War. Precisely because, for my money, all it will end up doing is making melee units feel much gimmickier than everything else. Because I was conceptualizing the melee hit registration as part of a much larger overhaul, which included the stuff I was talking about yesterday regarding missiles being interceptable by units of a higher elevation level. Having stuff like more missiles, regardless of what they target, being interceptable in general, or being able to be shot down, like missiles themselves having some health, being targetable by certain weapons that can target missiles. Like, all these things that either would be a pain in the ass to implement in Brood War or just not feasible for whatever one reason or another. And in that kind of environment, when you're completely throwing out all of the previous, like, pre-existing expectations you have, it's much more reasonable to expect players to adapt to a bunch of different systems. And particularly, it's much more reasonable for them to start conceptualizing certain unit roles in different ways. Like, right now, it's really, really challenging to even make the melee changes impactful on an end-user basis. Like, you can't even really make it readable right now unless you can figure out a way to stop the hit sound from playing on the Zealot or the Zergling, for example. It's the same thing as it is in PyAI. The hash sign. So yeah, I mean, we would need to really heavily modify how melee units behave. They would probably need... I mean, not all of them would need this, but I imagine a fair number of them would need some way to, like, stick to their targets when they get into close proximity. So it would be something like, if they get an attack, they get movement speed bonuses, or they get increased movement speed based on missing life or something. Like, we would have to really lay into behaviors like that in Brood War, because we don't have precise control over everything else. We don't have the ability to take giant steps towards revamping all of projectiles in the game and all of attacks in the game. And we just can't do all that right now. Maybe we could do that in the future, but I mean, you got to remember, we're also working on a campaign, or working on a campaign. We're getting to the point where we can work on the campaign. Like, it's already a crazy amount of stuff that we've decided to add to finalize the game state as it stands. So to take it a step further by implementing something that will always only feel half-baked until it's complemented by all of the other changes I would make to stuff like missiles and other, like, ranged hit scan attacks or whatever. You're basically saying that we're, for our full toilet submission, we are finishing HYDRA's game state and all of these, like, exploring all of these crazy things instead of actually producing content. So, I can concede that there's value to the experiments. It's not really what we ought to be focusing on right now. It's not a great time expenditure if our goal is still to work on Deliverance. And my goal is still to work on Deliverance. And I'm pretty sure that's also your goal, considering you're the one who brings up that we're not working on Deliverance more than I do. Yeah, it's way too much to try to do if you're also trying to make a campaign in the next 2.5 months, or less than half now, but you know what I mean? Like, we're coming up on the 2-month mark, and we haven't really made a whole lot of progress on Deliverance in a while. Maybe a week or so. Now, admittedly, we finished up the UED birthday map, we obviously did the DF birthday map, and we did all the HYDRA stuff, so it's not like we've been doing nothing, but we're already going to be strapped for time, so... On the flip side, though, it does seem like it'll be pretty good to add very few things to the game state for Deliverance. like the Ecclesiast and the Amaranth are fine. Like we're replacing faction-specific units like the Dark Templar. We're adding a couple more utility or a couple more paths like the Terminus and the Ecclesiast. Like these are different ways that you can use different things in the game. So there's a couple of different things that you can mess around with there, which I think is cool. But like the command card for the gateway in Deliverance will probably look like Zealot, Legionnaire, Amaranth, and then it'll be... Or no. Actually, what the fuck would it look like? Yeah, we actually have one too many units right now if we want to also include the Terminus for the player. So I guess it would probably be Zealot, Legionnaire, Amaranth, and then it would be Dragoon, Ecclesiast, or Dragoon, Hierophant, Ecclesiast, and then High Templar on the top right. So, like that's a pretty stacked roster of units from one structure, obviously. Yeah, placing something above cancel. Well, the problem is you can't really place anything above cancel. Holy moly. Just rewrite the sentence, please. I have no idea what you're trying to say. Cancel is in the bottom right. What's above it is rally. So you would place something on top of the rally point? I mean, you're basically talking about removing the rally point button. I mean, everybody who plays Deliverance is probably going to know that the rally point is a mechanic, but still, it feels pretty bad. Yeah, you can't put something over the cancel button. That's why I was very confused by what you were saying. So we have R, E, so I guess this would be S, and then A and D. Okay. Well, I implemented a bunch of them like right in front of you, so I figured you just saw them. The biggest issue is that we can't just have all of these in a straight line. Like, I guess I could do this. Yeah, I don't think that makes sense to do given everything else. Alright. Guess Nexus should be X instead of N. It's pretty far away. I mean, in theory, it's not so bad to hit BN, but I would prefer to hit BX anyway. Wow, somehow I pranked myself and put the wrong hockey on Stellar. I don't know how that happened. Flag. Okay. Oh, you did a pretty good job fixing up a lot of the problems that we had, so... It always never actually pushes. What? Why would you push an EXE while I'm literally making EXE changes on stream? Oh, man. I don't know which... Well, I don't know which EXE I just merged, so I guess I'll have to double check it. What a fucking... Why? Oh, man. Do I have to redo all that work? Oh, looks like maybe mine went out. Yeah, okay. Alright. At least that didn't end so horribly. As horribly as expected. I'm being served and protected at the moment. Oh, that was a... whatever it's called. Fire truck. Semi-working. That describes this whole game. All right, so we got ourselves here an epic update. Oh yeah, I didn't actually get a chance to test the simulacrum's changes. Oh. Did I fuck up there? Oh, you dirty dog, you. You overwrote my fucking attack speed change. Or my fix. Because they were doing damage earlier, but I got destroyed at some point. I would say he's got a speed upgrade. They probably deal too little damage right now. So maybe the increase needs to be higher. Boom. What else we got? I didn't write it. It sure is. I'll be right back again. Alright, so we have the simulacrum seemingly implemented. Which is pretty good. You know what that means? Well, we do have to figure out why the some of the buildings appear to be permanently cloaked. Oops. Hello? Pretty sure that's just hard code related to the IDs since they're traps. But I couldn't find anything when checking for their unit IDs in the assembly dump. We'll try a basic one like that. See if that resolves it. I already checked their unit stat and they don't have anything. I copied over a Protoss building, so. Yeah, but I didn't even see the their ID included in that. Like when I searched the IDs of the highest trap that I'm aware of, it didn't show up either. Yeah, it didn't seem to work. Is there one that I should hook into while you're doing that? Or is there only one? What do you mean by those functions have the proper IDs? I don't know what function you're talking about, so send me something I can look at. Well, yeah, I'm not gonna text search in a fucking IDA, dude. What is the function address? Yeah, it didn't even let me. That's pretty amazing. Thanks. That wasn't so hard. Yeah, it doesn't work. Oh, these are easy. Why do you even need to jump patch these? Wait, what? That's fucking weird. I don't know how long until Fraud Night. I don't know if there is Fraud Night today. I was going off of the assumption that nobody would be able to make it. Or virtually nobody. Very few people. We can just end up doing it tomorrow. I think the unit is trap one is the one we're looking for. The floor trap one has nothing to do with the two IDs that we're using. It looks like it's covered by the unit is trap anyway. But yeah, if you want to also return that as false always, that's fine. Well, if we those are two more unit IDs that we could use for something else. Yeah, we're not going to use the original traps. But what I'm saying is that the unit is trap function just what it actually tells you is it covers the range, like in its range that it returns true with. It's also the same deal with the first one. So oh yeah. Yeah, no wonder I couldn't see the timer, by the way. There you go. Only question is... Hey, cool. It's even lined up exactly the same offset. Well, there you go. We have a timer. Eventually we'll have APM as well. That is a nice touch. But the other only question is it actually correct with its timing? Like, I'll pause it at 10. Check that out. It actually is 100% accurate. Love it. I wasn't sure if it was real seconds or not because you said it was whatever GPTP was using. At least at first. I don't know if you changed that. It's pretty epic. Pretty nice. I can't wait for APM. That'll be really good. I want to see my... I want to see how far my APM has improved since the last time it was tracked. Oh, right, yeah. Have you disabled the other fastest, or the other speeds, rather? I mean, you can do this in essence by... like what I told Nave to do back when he was working on something for the old Deliverance in 2015, I told him to just set all game speeds to 24 FPS, which is the same thing as disabling all of the others because you're just overriding the value. It just means that technically there's still a slider for it, but... Cool. All right, so I've added some more changes. I added the fastest setting change to the not implemented ones, as well as another one for disabling in-game saving and just creating an autosave when you exit the mission or the... Like, if you quit the mission, it will automatically save. If you exit the app, it'll automatically save. Hopefully that's not too difficult to do. I'm not even really sure how to disable saving. I mean, I guess what we could do, actually, is remove all the buttons for the save dialogue. There's obviously you can remove the button in the main menu dialogue thing, or not the main menu, but the pause menu. But the Alt-S and Alt-L hotkeys still work for saving and loading. And I guess Alt-L should still work, because you should be able to load your autosave from in-game. But Alt-S, you would just have to, like, I could just disable the save button itself in that menu. It's just, I would prefer to disable the menu itself for cleanliness. Like, instead of making people think that there is a save function and it's just bugged. Or something like that. Like, making it very obvious that there is no save function would be better, in my opinion. So many hotkey, or so many stupid ass hard code functions like unit is lurker is not idle. Why? Why? Must be for like AI or something. Hey, get over here. Well, I would say we managed to make some pretty good progress finalizing the details for that patch. There's still the matter of implementing the Protoss Destroyer and the Empyrean, as well as the Exemplar. And then the only thing that's left for Protoss is the Star Sovereign and the Augur, which are like the end tier units for them. So maybe it's, I mean, at that point, like, everything up until the final tier is implemented, which is pretty nice. It's the first race to actually reach that milestone. Zerg have 2 more units coming. The Nathrakor, which will morph from Zerglings. It's going to be a flyer. And the, currently it's called the Osteroth, but I will have a new name for it at some point. And that will be the Destroyer air unit for them, the Destroyer class air unit. That will be something to the effect of, like, similar to a Centaur, I guess, in terms of combat role, right? Which is what the Empyrean is for the Protoss. The Zerg one will be morphed from an Ultralisk, so it's a little bit different there. I may also decide to allow... I mean, maybe even the Nathrakor itself would make more sense as a Scourge morph, now that I think about it, but I actually kind of like that Scourge are almost like an evolutionary dead end, in a sense, because you get them, and then you fucking kill them, you know, you detonate them. So it's kind of cool, I guess, to have that thematic and allowing you to... Well, it's a super gas-heavy unit, so that would definitely impact any cost associated with any morph, so I wouldn't necessarily want to do that, but... I think other than that, there's only a few other things that I need to do. Terrans need the Savant and the Apostle, and then they're done. So... That's pretty close to being complete. All races. Oh no, the Clarions are also necessary for the Protoss. I just remembered that. So we have the Clarion, Exemplar, Empyrean, Augur, Star Sovereign. So they have the most units that are waiting to be implemented. The Savant is basically implemented as of right now, but obviously it's super rough around the edges. No like custom audio or anything, no custom reads. So I'll be on the hunt for some reads for them at the very least for their abilities, and I'll be tweaking their values and stuff. Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're getting there, right? Because once the Savant is more polished and ships, all we're gonna need is the Apostle, and I think maybe that's actually everything. I mean, let me just quickly jump into the documentation again. I can mark the Madrigal stuff as implemented. But yeah. So once the Savant is implemented, it's just some the marksmanship stuff for the Paladin, and then the Apostle, and that's pretty good. I mean, that would be everything for Terrans actually, besides the Ion Cannon and the Quarry, I guess. Technically, the Quarry is implemented, but it can't be placed for whatever reason. In Hydra, it's the Cosmic Altar and the Exalted Ashlar. You can also look in the unit ID enum for Empyrean requirement and Exemplar requirement. Cool. All right. And then, well, I should not have closed that as aggressively. So yeah, then for new units for the Protoss, as you can see, we have Augur, Clarion, Bulwark. I'm probably just going to mark as not implementing in this engine. Exemplar, Empyrean, Star Sovereign. So those 5 units, right? The Empyrean hopefully won't be that difficult to actually implement. Same for the Exemplar. But nothing was really as simple as the Simulacrum. The Simulacrum was super simple, I think. The Clarion requires an ability, which probably in and of itself is going to be somewhat complicated. I'm going to have to revise the Augur's concept a little bit to include its upgrade, because obviously upgrades are no-go now. And they are pretty late tier units as well, so. And then this thing that says requires upgrade should just be default. So let me just mark the Bulwark as not implementing. And then down in Zerg units, I haven't added. I added the Nathracor, and we need the Cascathalor, and I guess the Infestation stuff, but I don't know if that's happening. What I do know is the. Oh, I do know that there's some busted. Wait. Oh, it's because it's class instead of spam. I wish it didn't take so long for this website to save its stuff sometimes. But yeah, the Cascath Cavern, and then I've got to add the other. There's another one that's like the one for the Destroyer will be have its own morph associated with it. So yeah, we'll do Cascathalor, Nathracor, and the Osteroth, whatever I end up calling that. So it's 3 for Zerg, 5 for Protoss currently, and only 1. Well, 2 technically, but the Savant is almost done. Then it's just like small tweaks and balance features and stuff. And obviously polish, like audio visuals. A surprising amount of this stuff wound up being... Wait. Okay, we have Indred, yeah. Bing bing, bing bong. Oh. Missing a span. But yeah, we're getting there anyway. That's the bottom line. Hopefully, the... Yeah, I mean, Icor was actually saying that was 100% what we should be looking at, is that hard code that has a... You don't have the latest EXE for sure if you're still using... if your stuff has still got the wrong stuff, yeah. I would say you either added it to the wrong your plugin to the wrong EXE, or you have launched an old EXE, because the stats have been in the EXE since this morning. So double check your EXE, boy. Anyway, I gotta go. I gotta have some late lunch, and then I'll chill out, and I'll be back on to get some more work done. I'll probably be doing some video work today, I think. Time will tell what it actually is. But I'm thinking about it. So I'll see you guys later. Mwah.